Well, here's my Bally Supersonic, and today I'm going to try to put LED lights in it. I just got a package today from Comet Pinball full of lights, and we'll see what's in the package here. I got a whole bunch of warm white frosted for the general illumination and behind the panel. Also in the back panel we've got these blinking ones, and then for underneath the playing field I got these 4 LED types here, and then I also have a bunch of yellow stars, and I got these flexible lights for underneath the yellow stars, and we'll see how those work. And they also sent me a decal that says Comet, although you can't really tell by looking at here, and some candy, because I guess Halloween's coming up. I'm going to take a couple before pictures so that we can get a good idea of what this thing looks like with the incandescent lights. And one of the things I'm unhappy with is like these things right here. See how they don't really seem to light up very brightly. The stars are the biggest disappointment. You kind of see, I mean, that's really kind of lame, and a lot of them don't shine very well. You know, I don't know. I am really unhappy with the stars, so I really want to see a lot brighter stars. Here, let me go turn on the light test. Okay, here's the light test. You can see, boy, the green is just really lame. You can barely even see it. The red specials aren't really very special at all. And, well, anyway, let me turn the lights off. Here we are with the lights off so you can get a little better look. Of course, it looks a lot better with the lights off. But, you know, the red, you know, I mean, it hardly even fills up the whole insert thing there. You know, like I say, these stars, you can see, especially like this one, you know, and I think that's a socket issue. Like if I get in there and I wiggle this thing around, it'll get brighter, but you know, it's still, these things really are only partially illuminated. So those are kind of disappointments. You can kind of see how the green, well, I'm looking at the camera and the green looks nice and bright, but in real life it looks really dim and faded. In fact, all these buttons are kind of dim. The bumpers, you can see, you can hardly even tell that these things are coming on. They're really not very bright. And I'm really hoping for a lot more brightness. So anyway, this is the before. And now I'm going to go through the LED thing, and then at the end you'll get to see how much better it looks, hopefully. Now let me show you some of these side by side. I did the left side with the new LEDs. You can see, first of all, hey, look at these blinking ones. These are what they call the fast blink in warm white, but you can see it's still a lot cooler than the incandescents. I'm sure glad I got the warm white, because the sunlight would have just been too much, I think. You know, I was trying to match the original yellow, because you know, this machine is mainly done in yellows and reds, so that's an important consideration there. But these blinkers seem to work really nicely, although they're faster than these incandescents. And I just wanted to point out one other little thing, and that's the flickering bulbs. Now this is a controlled bulb right here, and you can see it flickers. I hope the camera gets this, but when it comes on, it's kind of like flashing very quickly, and I certainly hope that you're going to be able to see this on camera. So there's a number of different modifications that are possible to fix this. You know, you could buy a new lamp driver board. Specialties has plug-in connectors for like $60 that you could plug in, or you could put a 10K resistor on the back of the socket. And I bought a bunch of, excuse me, I meant to say 1K resistors. I bought a bunch of 1K resistors to put on the back of the sockets, and I'm going to try that at first, because you can get 100 of those for $5, and we'll see how that works. Now there, I put a 1K resistor across the back of the socket, and let's just see how well that improves the flickering. Okay, well, I'm going to call this a success. It's coming on solidly, there's no flickering, And you can see it's not quite as bright as the rest of them, but then again, these are noticeably like way, way lower. You can kind of see like how much brighter this is than this, and that's just a thing about the switch test. During a normal game, this doesn't happen, but switch test, because I guess it turns on all the lights at once, they're kind of dim. But yeah, this 10K resistor is a big success, and hey, for a penny, you can't beat it. Okay, I'm in the process of replacing all the general illumination bulbs at the top here, and things are going really well. And the tools you really need to have is like a 1/4 inch wrench, or perhaps a 1/4 inch nut driver, a 5/16 inch nut driver, and a Phillips. Now remember, on these acorn screws that go onto the top here, man, these things are finger tight. When I say finger tight, I don't mean tight, I mean finger loose. Just barely get them on there. They're easy to strip out. They're not supposed to go down all the way. And of course, these studs here, you have to remove these things from the board. So they have a 1/4 inch nut on the top. And anyway, the rest of these things have Phillips. And you just have to be careful and not break anything. I really want to get a shot of this. Take a look at this label. I was all over Amazon looking at all these stupid contact cleaner sprays. And I didn't like any of them. And I saw this one here, and I really liked it because it removes oxidation, improves the connection, seals and protects surface. So what that means is it has oil in it. And I tell you, this stuff has really helped this whole machine out. I was having all sorts of crazy things going on, and I went through all the plugs, all the connectors, like in the MPU and the solenoid board, things like that. Things are flaky. So I would take a little Scotch-Brite on the connectors, spray this stuff on there, and then I wipe with a paper towel, and you can see a bunch of black stuff coming off. It was doing a good job removing the oxidation. And then I'd spray it inside the actual connectors where I couldn't clean. And it's been rock solid since then. So when I get a light, and if I put the thing in there and it doesn't work perfectly 100% of the time, I spray some of the stuff in there and it completely fixes it. So here's another shot of it. This is most valuable player. Definitely get this stuff. Okay, well, I got the head done. Here we are in lamp test. All the resistors in and everything's looking really good. Let me just kind of show you. So on the resistors, one of the tricks is you take the resistor and you try to wrap it around. You just want to try to set it on there. You want to get a mechanical kind of a thing going on. So you wrap one leg around, you wrap the other leg around, and then it's secured there. You know, so it makes a much better soldering job when you've already got it, mechanically secured before you solder it. You can kind of see them on there. The first thing I'm doing is putting in the star lights. You kind of see how they're kind of amber yellow lights in here. Let's take a look at these a little bit further. These are yellow, and they're flux. So what they have is, you can see there's a capacitor right there, and the capacitor stores the charge. So you don't have to put a resistor on the socket. I actually tried putting one of the 1K resistors across there. It didn't make any difference. So the capacitor stores the charge and keeps these things on. Now, if you look at them, you can see there's two leads on there, and they kind of interfere with things, so I had to cut those off. And I position these things down to they're kind of up in there, and they don't hit the switch. Kind of see them here, they're pointed right in there, But I don't know if I'm totally happy with them. Let me bring down the playing field and you can see what they look like. Okay, here's what the star lights look like. And I don't think I'm happy with it. You can see a single point right where that diode is. And I was hoping something that would like illuminate the whole thing. I would have loved to have had an even illumination. And I'm not too sure what to do about this. And I guess I can move the diode back further, but there's still the issue of the switch being in the middle, and if I get it back too far, half of it's going to be shaded and the other half's not going to be there. I'm thinking there might be a solution, because the Comet Pinball has a light that has two flexible LEDs coming off. So I would have one LED on one side, one LED on the other side, and then maybe a little further back. But I don't think I like it at all. and it's pretty yellow. You can see it looks a lot oranger with these are the old lights. And even on these you can kind of see the lights kind of on one side or another side. But I think this actually looks better with the incandescent. So I'm not too sure here. I think maybe I'll go with more of an orange. I think I'm going to actually get an orange. This is yellow. And I think I'll get an orange, maybe get a double orange, because I just don't think this looks right. Okay, I'm going to try pulling the bulbs a little further back away from the inserts and see whether that looks any better. Okay, with them back a little better, you know, it's a little better. It's not a lot better. And you can still see the LED is a single point of light. Okay, here's our 3 Thumper bumpers. We got our left and right ones here, and they're wired together. Then we got the one that's the bottom Thumper bumper. If we look in here, you can see there's the control wire for the light, and then here's the ground wire for the light. And these two, you can kind of see there's a ground wire and a ground wire going over there. And the control wire is coming right here, and that's got a bare wire going over to here, to this one here. So we're going to have to do something a little different here. So anyway, I made up some little jumper wires, about a 5-inch jumper wire with a 1K resistor on the end. And I'm going to use this to hook up to the Thumper bumpers. See, there's the resistor I hooked up there. And the red wire goes up to the ground bus. I have something very similar here going across over to the ground bus. Okay, here's a nice tall socket. Now, to get the bulbs out, you actually kind of have to bend the socket back, put the bulb in there, then bend it in there. I've got my resistor in here, and the thing to be really careful of is this whole barrel here is ground. So if this end of the resistor touches it in any way, it'll short right out. So you got to be really careful. Another thing is when you're soldering on these things here, you need a high wattage iron. So I got this one. This is like, I don't know, it's like maybe 45 or 55 watts. And man, it just like, 5 seconds or so, 5 or 10 seconds, you've got that thing all melted. And with a pencil soldering iron, you might not be doing quite as well. These little flat sockets work out really nicely. You can see how nicely the resistor is on there, but you kind of have to get the switch out of the way, because I mean there's no way you're going to solder that with the switch in there. And if you see the ground bus coming through there, it's always nice to solder right to that little wire. Okay, here we are. Every single resistor was done. Oh my gosh, what a bunch of work. It was, 8 hours of work, more than 8 hours of work. And they're not that pretty. I really don't like the solution. I tell you, for 8 hours, it might have been worth spending the $120 for the Alltek lighting board. And I want to show you something pretty interesting. Like, you can see how nice the red is here for the special. It looks very nice. Then here's this red special, but this light isn't a red. This is a daylight, or sunshine. They call it the sunshine. So, and you can see it looks almost as good. This is definitely slightly redder with the red LEDs in the back, but with the white LEDs, it looks almost the same. So that's an interesting little thing. And then these two are both the sunshine. I would have liked to have had a warm light here. You can see these other yellows are all warm, and they do actually have a very yellow look with the warm. Okay, my amber orange two-headed bulbs showed up, and I'm getting started on them. You can see how the entire insert is completely flooded with light. Boy, that's looking a lot better from the back. Like right here, you can see we're, instead of being halfway illuminated, it's all the way illuminated. And wait till you see what they look like from the top. Okay, everybody, this is it. The finished product, completely done here. And I am really happy with the results. First of all, these are the fast blink warm whites. And they really make the Supersonic logo look really nice. The faster blinking, I think looks a lot better than the incandescents. And everything else is all warm white back here. You can see how nicely it lights up the ship and looks in there. Get a good look at that. Really nice. Very happy with it. And now the inserts finally look perfect for these star rollovers. Gosh, does that look nice. I mean, from an angle you can see how it's all evenly orange. Look it up the jet stream lane. Boy, does that look nice. All of these yellows, I used the warm white, and all the whites, I used what they call the sunlight. And of course we got the amber here, which really look good. Now Comet Lighting, or excuse me, Comet Pinball recommended a pink. They said pink would look good in this orange insert. But I just didn't have the nerve to try it. I tell you, this amber orange looks really, really good here. And the amber orange looks so much better. If you look straight on, you can see the two LEDs. But I put them back so they're more than a ½ an inch back away from the inserts. And up this rail, I mean, this looks perfect. And the top rollover, oh, that just looks absolutely perfect and stunning. And I am just really, really impressed. And it was a bit of money, but this thing's drawing a lot less power. There's a lot less humming coming from it. And of course, every couple days, there's a stupid light going out. Take a look at this. I mean, take a look at this. These are all the friggin' light bulbs I replaced. Look at all those things. Now, look how old those things are and how crappy they look. And there's a mixture of 44s and a mixture of 47s. And the 47s are really not very bright at all. And, you know, every couple days when it was going out, and they draw out more current, so I was having issues with the sockets, and I'd have to get in there and twist the socket and what have you. But anyway, now it's all done. I'm really impressed. And anyway, good luck on your project. Post questions if you'd like to have me answer questions or anything.